several full stack technologies since 2005. Muni is an ardent speaker in various national and international forums of variety of topics and subjects, be it yoga, science, technology, engineering, mathematics, or IT. Agile and Strong believes that nourishing enthusiastic techies in future for their growth of their path. Thank you, Muni sir, and over to you.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thanks for your intro. Thank you, SIM College Management and as well as CSR IBM Management team. Thank you so much. Thanks, participant, actually spending time on learning emerging technology and then what is happening in corporate. Thanks so much for actually joining this session. Sorry for the initial, technical issues. Okay. I think last week we had a cyber security session. This is a kind of continuation of the same session which is we have conducted. Whenever we heard about actually hacking, we used to think about hacking means it's a bad guy or it's a malicious activity which is done by for a reason for some own personal benefit that people used to do. That is the way we used to think whenever we hear about hacking, because that is the way actually the Hollywood or Bollywood movie or Hollywood movie projected actually the hackers means it's a bad guy or it's the evil side of the world. That's what we used to think. But that is actually, it's not actually completely false or not completely true. Today we are going to discuss more about the good guys in the hacking world. Actually, that is what actually we are going to talk about. So the ethical hacking means the hacking which is actually ethically, defined the process as well as try to do good for actually the application as well as the project which we are developing and deploying into consumer world. That is the reason actually the ethical hacking is came. But ethical hacking came because actually the bad guys start doing hacking into the system. So we try to protect our system. We start doing actually ethical hacking before we try to put into the market. That is the reason actually this field came into the IT or corporate. So with that note, actually we will move on to next slide. What is in this session which we are actually going to discuss about what is hacking, what is actually ethical hacking, what is the importance of ethical hacking, what is the different type of actually hackers are there in the world, what their intention or how they are hacking the application, what are the steps involved, and how corporate is trying to protect actually application doing ethical hacking before putting into application into market. So that is now we are going to discuss today. So ethical hacking is an authorized practice of bypassing a system security to identify potential breach or threat in the application data and network. So what actually ethical hacking in the sense, they are actually trying to protect actually their system, application, data, network from the hackers world actually, how the hacking people is trying to hack. The same thing actually we are trying to mimic and then try to avoid those kind of attacks from the hackers. That is the reason actually the ethical hack is actually allowed or authorized process which is actually followed by any corporate or any application developer before putting into the market. So the company actually usually own the system or device or activity which is actually done by defending their own system. They are trying to do the ethical hacking. So in the ethical hacking practice, they try to do all those things which usually in the hackers which will they try to hack the system. They will try to hack their own system to avoid actually the hacking from the outside of the world. That is the reason actually the ethical hacking has come to the field and then become norms and the practice for part of the project development activity. Move on to next slide and try to understand that what is actually the importance of or aim of the hacker. So the ethical hacker, what is the aim of the ethical hacker is, the ethical hacker trying to investigate your application or our application whether any weak point is there in that application, so that the hackers try to exploit or destroy our application. So that is what actually the aim of the ethical hacker. So they try to collect all the information or all those weak point in the system, network, and application, and they will recommend into that application development team to improve the security as well as any weak point is there in that system. That is the reason actually ethical hackers are trying to do the hacking before the application out to market. That's what actually the aim of the ethical hacker, which will they will do. What is the importance of hacking actually, which we'll see in the next slide. Sir, can you, what is the importance of ethical hacking? Suppose if you are not doing actually ethical hacking, so our application, whatever the weak point and whatever actually faults there in our application, it will remain undiscovered. So when we do the ethical hacking only, we'll try to discover whether there is any weak point or whether any hole or any vulnerabilities there in that system. That is the reason actually the ethical hacking is too much important. Say for example, you guys may know actually whenever they are manufacturing car or something like that, they will try to do the durability testing. Durability testing means actually they try to make actually the car into make accident. What are the parts are getting break actually, whether inside the car the driver or the passenger is able to survey. Those kind of testing they used to do. So it's something like that is actually the physical actually product which we are trying to, before putting into the market, we are doing n number of quality testing. When they are doing the quality testing, that will be make sure that the product is capable of actually in the durability. So the same thing like, but our program or application, we can't do those kind of testing. So we need to do a different kind of testing, whether our application is ready to go to market. We have actually different level of quality control, which we know. Something like testing our application, whether the application have any defect or something like that, we used to do. That is actually the regular way of doing testing. But after the hackers start hacking the system, so the ethical hacking also become a part of our application delivery process. Even though we are doing SIT members are doing different kind of testing, still we are doing this also one of the testing in the part of release process. That's what actually the ethical hacking is so important nowadays, to avoid actually hackers to hack our system, or unethical hackers do the hacking. To avoid that, we are having actually ethical hacking is more important. Ethical hacker is a good purpose. That is the reason its name called ethical hackers, is a good guys in this hacking world actually. Yes, sir, can you move? Yeah. We will actually try to give me a minute. Sorry for the disturbance, because my balcony window is open, so it is closed. So different type of hackers. So what are the different type of hackers there in the hacking world? So one is actually white hat hackers, and then black hat hackers, and gray hat hackers. These are the different three different type of hackers there in the world. Why actually this white hat, black hat, and all came in picture? Probably you guys watch that Cowboys movie. In the Cowboys movie, good guy will be wearing actually white hat, and then the bad guy or villainic person will be wearing actually black hat. So based on that only this concept came. But after that they introduced actually gray hat also. The gray hat is like something like it's not a good guy or not a bad guy. So we will discuss in detail in the next couple of minutes. Okay. Sir, can you please move on to the next slide? Okay. The white hat hackers. They are actually the angel of the internet. They are known as actually ethical hackers. They are good guys in the hacking world actually. So will be a part of an employee into that organization. The white hat hackers will be a part of any organization. They will be doing actually good for the particular project. That is the reason actually they will be a part of employment into the organization. They will actually try to do the best practice, or they try to test that application and try to implement all the best practice into that application. They are the one do the penetration test or pen test. We used to call pen test. They will perform the pen test for the application before their application is going to the market. So they will identify all the vulnerabilities which is related to security. All other testing which is done by the testers, who's actually the a part of SIT or testing team. They will be doing the different kind of quality testing, whether the application unit test is covered, whether that coding standard is followed, whether all those business scenario been covered. Those kind of testing comes as a part of testing. But the pen test is completely going to do whether the application have any vulnerabilities which is as a part of the code. They won't do any business coverage, or they won't do any code quality coverage and all. They won't do. They will be doing only whether this have any security hole in that system. That is what they will do. So what kind of security hole and all we will discuss into the a later point in time. So the black hat hackers, actually the devil of the internet world, they are actually unauthorized. What they will do, see, in the white hat hackers, they will try, they will get the authorization from the organization. Organization is arranging that particular process, and then the practice or the particular performance which is conducted by the organization or the company, and then they will create an output. Then the development team will try to fix all the holes. But the black hat hackers, after the application went to the market, they try to hack that application and then try to gain that for their own purpose. They break the network, or they break the application. They will steal the data, or they try to damage that network system, all those things. And black hat hackers, actually that intention is there has some financial or personal benefit, or they will demand money for giving back that access. Say for example, simply actually they will change all the password. Say for example, there is a bank. If hackers, black hat hackers are bad guys, able to get into the system and then able to change everybody's password, and then they have decoded the password in a different way. They couldn't able to encode the password. It means that they will demand the money. If you give money, then I will actually bring that system back to the normal, something like that. So that is where actually they will, the motivation is actually for personal benefit. That is the reason actually they are not part of any organization. They won't, sometimes they won't even reveal their identity. So that is a way. Even directly, if it is they will withdraw the money from account and then put it into their some other account, something like that. So they won't leave identity. That is where actually the black hat hackers are coming in picture. Next one is all about actually gray hat hackers. Okay, gray hat hackers actually is not a bad guys, but they won't actually they are actually something different. These guys are something a little different. They will actually try to identify the loophole into the system, but they won't damage the system. They will inform to the company saying that your system have these are the issues. But the thing is, the problem is they won't get the permission to hack the system. Without getting a permission, without unauthorized, these people actually go and actually try to hacking the system without actually the company or the organization knowing. After hacking only, they will announce that this system having an issue. Sometimes these people actually go and announce publicly this system having an issue. So this problem here is, since they are announcing publicly, by the time actually that system fixing that issue, the black hat hackers sometimes hacking that system, because they are announcing a loophole, right? So that is a, that is a way actually the gray hat hacker is a bad guy, but they won't do for anything for their personal benefit or any personal intention. But here the thing is they want to prove that they are actually, a genius or something like that. For that reason only, the gray hat hackers usually do hacking the system. Yeah, sometimes actually these people also demand money, but they won't damage the system or something like that. That is the reason these people are called as a gray hat hackers, because they are not a good guy or bad guy. So they are in between. That is the reason these people are called as a gray hat hackers. Okay, sir, shall we move on to, yeah. So there are actually few more type of hackers are there in the market. They are actually blue hat hackers, green hat hackers, and red hat hackers. Actually, these are actually the other three type of hackers, but they won't fall into the main category. The reason is blue hat hackers is actually also appointed. The reason is, say for example, white hat hackers. Actually, suppose I am actually part of that organization. I'm part of actually the particular project. I need to hack my system, means sometimes I will do my routine things. The reason is I know about my system. I know how to do the hacking. So sometimes I may not be able to find out all those loopholes into the system. So instead of that, why not actually I can appoint the people from outside asking us to hack our systems. So the blue hat hackers is something like that. They are actually not part of that organization. They are actually running a different company. So each and every company, instead of running the hacking practice by their own employee, they will go and actually call the person from outside of that organization. So they will come and do the hacking into the system. Whenever actually those kind of people coming into the organization and trying to hack that application, those kind of guys, nothing but actually blue hat hackers. Sir, shall we move on to next screen? So this particular practice, which is actually introduced by Microsoft. So, sir, shall we move on to the next slide? Yeah, so the blue hat hacker also referred as a security professionals, but they are not part of the same organization. They are from different organization. These people also do the same work of what white hat hackers are doing, because they are also doing like a good things. See, the thing is, this particular practice introduced by Microsoft before releasing any of the Microsoft product. That is the reason sometimes, blue hat hacker known as a blue hat Microsoft hackers. But this practice nowadays, used by most of the application launch. Before launching any application, first they will do white hat hacking practice. Then they will call blue hat hackers to break the system. Then they will launch the product. So that is the reason actually blue hat hackers are actually coming in the picture. Next, move on to next slide, sir. The green hat. Green hat hackers are actually called newbie. Newbie means they are actually not completely knowing the technology. They are new into that hacking world. They are trying to do actually some hacking into the system. So they will have, sometimes they will have no knowledge, or they will have actually less knowledge about hacking technology and the hacking world. But the problem about the green hat hackers is they may not know what they are doing. Okay, sometimes they will do something that may lead into big issue. Okay, because they are not, their motivation to prove themselves. Something like a gray hat hackers. Gray hat hackers also trying to prove themselves, but they are actually techie guys. They know what they are doing. But the green hat hackers, they don't know what they are doing, but they simply go in, try to hack the system. They do some malicious activity, but they are actually, their intention also not doing something wrong, but they try to prove themselves actually. So that's why the gray hat and green hat hacker behavior sometimes actually similar, but these people are new. That people are actually well-versed persons. That is the only difference between. The next thing is actually red hat hackers. So these people, they are also not part of any organization, or they are not trying to do something good for any company or something like that. their intention is to stop actually black hat hackers. So the red hat hackers are trying to, destroy, if they try to come to know any black hat hackers server or system or something they come to know, they try to, destroy actually whatever infra or whatever the system actually the black hat hackers are having. Red hat hackers in motive is just to destroy actually black hat hackers things. So that is a only thing which they have an intention. So that is where actually red hat hackers are actually coming into the picture here. So these are the different type of hackers which we discussed here actually. So so now we'll move on to actually the organization, how they are managing. So there are actually, each and every hacking team, they have actually tools and technology, a network mapper, and these are the tool. What actually this tool will do? Say for example, whenever actually there is a web application which is there or any application is there, this tool actually trying to go and scan that entire code and trying to find out any issues are there. So each and every company will be using different tools and technology to, trying to find out actually a malicious code or vulnerability code or any network weak point or data is actually completely open, something like that. These are the tools which they are using. Say for example, I'll tell you some scenario. Right now we are logging into any application. After logging into application, if you are trying to access that randomly some URL, okay, if the particular application or website allow to access some random URL which you given a try, if then that is actually something something actually like it's actually loophole into the system. So those kind of malicious activity which this tool will try to do. Instead of actually, suppose they have actually 10 web pages in one web application. So what actually this tool will do, it will try to log into the system and then they will access actually multiple pages. Okay, once they come to know the real URL, second URL, third URL, something like that. So because when we are creating web application, what we are doing, we are actually connecting and configuring all those pages into the flow. Okay, the first page, if you go to the first page, by clicking, you'll go to the second page. Say for example, email, if you take email. So once you log into email, immediately you are going to inbox. Once you go to inbox, you have a lot of actually other links which you go to compose email or go and check actually what are the send email items, all those things you are seeing, right? But each and every pages are having a different actually, HTML content, and then server side call and database access, all those things which will be there. But what actually the web developer trying to put when they are configuring that application, they are actually configuring application such a way that it will be interconnected and going from one page to another page. That's what we are doing. Suppose, say for example, third page I'm able to access without login. Okay, so then how to find out? So that is what I can find out in this kind of tool. Suppose if I'm able to access different pages without login, then it just became actually vulnerability in that application. How I can find out? I can find out either by manual or by tool. So that's what this tool is helping us to identify. Say for example, your application is one port is open. Suppose 8080 port is open. Suppose if 8080 port is open and if you try to access your same server with a different port and try to attack actually your content inside the particular web server, those kind of random check and all this kind of tool will be doing. That is the reason the tool is very important. So we'll move on to next slide. Okay. So now coming to IBM. Okay. So when coming to IBM, what actually IBM is doing? How actually the ethical hackers work in IBM. So in IBM, we are actually having actually the pen test team. So even actually today I have initiated the pen test process for my project, which we are going to release in fourth quarter. Because why actually the pen test is initiated too early, in the sense uh, uh, they have to find out whatever the loophole is there. Once they identified the loopholes, I'll show you some sample pen test report so that you guys will understand. There is a pen test report will come for application. Once the pen test report come, if there is a loophole is there in that application, as a development team, we need to fix, or as a infra or DevOps people, go and fix actually the issues which is there in that pen test. So that may be actually the physical location, or there may be a network issues, or there will be a system issues. So all those things which will be identified. So who's identifying in IBM is, there is a pen test team. So the pen test team is going and identifying, we will be deploying our application in one server, and then we'll give full control to the pen test team. The pen test team go and actually, we also give actually authorized user to access that application. So they will try to access that application with authorized user, even without authorized user, randomly try to access the link, randomly try to go and access the database, whether allow access, authorized user allowed to access the database or something like that, or allowed authorized user accessing the web page or something like that. Those kind of test they will do. They will perform this kind of activity probably couple of weeks. Then they will generate a report and then give it to us. So then we will actually go and try to identify where is the weak point, and then we'll try to fix it. That is where actually the ethical hackers work at IBM. Okay. So shall we move? Yeah. What is actually that's what the pen test is trying to attempt to breach some all or other system security point. Some they are using the above mentioned tool. Okay, so that's what actually the pen test team will try to do for us. This is a pen test. What is actually the setup? Actually, the steps actually the pen test team will do. We'll see in the next slide. Yeah, there are actually how actually the pen test team will be performed. Reconciliations actually means actually they try to first collect all those information from the developer itself or the development team itself. They first of all they try to understand the system from the development team or engineering team. After that, they will also try to scan that system using the tool and then try to capture the information about the system. And after gaining the access, so what they will do after they gain the access, they will try to exploit that application after gaining the access. So that's what I told actually. Once they get the complete control of the system, they will do all the permutation combination of exploiting that system. Once they exploiting the system, they will still maintain that particular exploit actually the system for while, whether other people are trying to exploit that system or not. We will try to put the port open and then try to exploit by others or not. We maintain the access and then try to exploit, and then we will create a tracking report. Then we'll send it to the engineering team. So this is what actually the phases of actually the pen test process. Once the pen test process happen, then we'll move on to next level of fixing that one. Shall we move on to the next slide? Okay. The pen test findings. In the pen test findings, probably we will have these are the issues: SQL injection and cross-site scripting, directive browsing, website pilfering, and file guessing attack, and modify input, bypassing client validation. This kind of heading they will give, and then they will list their finding. SQL injection, probably I will just give a high-level idea about SQL injection. SQL injection is nothing but they will suppose, say for example, there is a text box which is there in your our application. In that text box, they will directly give a SQL command. Okay, so if the SQL command is actually able to execute, then that is nothing but SQL injection. It's mean that they without actually initial translation, they are trying to have a SQL command and executed in the backend system. That is nothing but SQL injection. Cross-site scripting in the sense, suppose you have actually two website. So not necessarily one all the time only one web application which is actually accessed in the same application. Say for example, I give you example. Today you guys are able to book the train ticket from any website. Previously we used to have only one web application where we used to go and book the train ticket. Nowadays actually any website we are allowed to book the train ticket. So here now two sites are integrated as a single site and then try to do things. That is what actually is a cross site. Whether the cross site scripting which is actually properly handled, and then the next site is actually accessing authentication or not, or there's this single sign-on which is enabling into going to the other site. Those kind of testing they will do in the cross site scripting part. Then directory browsing means if you give 8080 and the server name, sometime they will allow us to access all the files which is there in that system. So it's the same thing, like they will complete scanning of actually the website, and then they will try to, I told they will try to guess the file. Even the directory browsing actually completely blocked, but at the same time allow us to guess the file. Say for example, report. This is most of the time actually the developer will give a file name as a report. So by guessing the file name whether they are able to access the file or not, those kind of even though the directory browsing is blocked, but guess the input. You modify the input means they try to modify different type of input in the headers. So after they are able to access that input, they will try to access all those things. Bypassing the client validation. That's what I told So they'll try to bypass the client validation and try to access the data inside. Sir, if it is possible, can you please click the link which is there? Link on not this one. Yeah. Click the link, sir. Is it opening? Actually, it might be opening in a different tab.
Yes, sir.
Browser. Can you open the browser, sir?
I have clicked this, sir.
No, it might be open into the browser. Can you find that browser?
Yeah, yes.
This is a sample, pen test report, which is generated for one application. I thought of showing you guys to understand how the pen test data look like. One minute, sir. If I have a handy, I will just forward that. I think it's not.
It takes longer time.
Yeah, it's a PDF file. Can you cut copy paste the URL, sir, if it is possible?
Let me try, sir.
Guys, sorry for the inconvenience. Today we have some technical issues. Probably you can use Chrome, sir, if it is possible. Chrome browser. And then paste that URL, sir. The PPT URL. Okay, no problem, sir. or ping you the URL. Let's copy the URL, sir.
Not able to, sir.
No, you can go to non-presentation mode, then you can copy the URL. Okay, sir. I think we are running short of time. So, can you stop the presentation mode, sir, so that. Okay, sir. No problem. Yeah. Sir, I do one thing, sir. I will just send that. I know WhatsApp by sending that link, sir. Can you try this, sir? Try this, sir.
Yes.
I pasted the link in our WhatsApp.
Shall I stop share this screen, sir?
Yeah, no problem, sir. Actually, yeah. No, open the Chrome browser, sir, and then you paste that link, sir. Not this link, sir. Actually, I given another link. PDF is end with PDF. I pasted in your WhatsApp. Or I can paste in the chat, sir.
Let me try, sir.
Yeah, I'll put it in the chat. Okay, you can try. In the Zoom.
Yeah, you can paste it.
I pasted already. Pasted. I have a few more links actually. I will paste the links.
Yeah. Is it okay, sir?
This is actually the next link, sir.
Second one.
No problem. The PDF.
I'll open the first one.
First one, please open the first one.
But that one is taking longer time.
Okay, sir. No problem, sir. Then leave it, sir. Okay. So I thought I will send you an attachment, sir. I will download and send it to you guys, so that you guys share that how the PPT pen test.
I think it is opening. It is opening.
I sent a couple of links. Okay. By the time opening, we'll cover the remaining part, sir. If it is, I will come back because we are already. Because I have a hard stop by 11:30. Sir, can you share that PPT, sir? Thank you, sir. Sorry, guys. Sorry for the inconvenience. So that's what actually I thought of actually showing the pen test result so that you guys will understand how the pen test.
Munit, I saw some questions in the Zoom webinar chat. So if one of the faculty members can help with the questions, I think you can take them now.
Yeah, correct. Because we have less time. Okay, these are the actually because this is again a link. see which are the countries, and this link was opening, I think, I believe. Sir, can you open, sir? This is a complete information which is over the net. Sir, come down, sir. Little bit come down. Yeah, come down, sir. Come down. Okay, see, strap, please, sir. Okay. So these are the countries actually which is the lowest malware, infection rated. Sweden, Finland, something like that. These are actually the most highest malware infection actually happen in the computers. China, Taiwan, something like that. This is the top 10. Actually, all are top 10. And then ransom actually attack actually happen the most popular countries. Something like that. So you guys just for your understanding, I just given this link to understand, and who is actually having more hits in the cyber epidemic, United States, something like that. So cyber attacks, top 10 countries having a cyber attack: Canada, United States, Brazil. So these are the information which I just sort of sharing to you guys. Just you can go over. And the losses in average for list of countries actually. So United States, how much million, Japan, so how much attacks happen, what are the largest losses they have. So those things and all actually I highlighted here in this link. The next link, sir, can you please click the next link, sir? One more link which I given. Go to the yeah. These are the certification which we can do it actually in the hacking world. Actually, the EC is actually Electronic Commerce Council. They are the one actually providing most of the certificates. There in our PPT, I given actually the fundamental as well as pen test specialist and then advanced. So there are 3 certificates I listed in my PPT. Sir, can you please go to the PPT, sir? So this is a site you can enroll and then do your certifications. This is actually authorized, council will do the certification. First one is core ethical hacking, certified ethical hacker. Second one is actually analyst, system analyst on ethical hacking. And the third one is actually in the pen test, pen test world actually. So licensed pen tester. Actually, these are the 3 certifications you can gain for become an ethical hacker in the corporate actually. Ethical hacker is a highly paid professional actually compared to even developers. The average salary for ethical hackers in US is actually 1.5 lakh per annum. For a developer, starting salary is $60,000, but they are actually paid more than double. So ethical hacker is one of the highly paid profession, but in average, actually one application team, if you have a 50 developers, only one pen test tester will be there, 1 or 2. So the ratio is actually very less, but they are highly paid professional in the IT today. Okay. So sir, next we'll move on to next slide, sir. Okay, so these are the subtitles which is already given in cyber security. Same, the subtitle remains same only for ethical hacking world also. So you can, for this slide actually remains same in my cyber security session. So move on to next slide, sir. Okay, so I have one video. Probably we can play the video after the question and answer session. We'll move on to question and answer.
Okay, there are some questions in the chat box. And the first one is, what is the difference between blue team and red team?
Okay, blue team, that's what. Blue team is, I told you, blue team is hired by organization and asking them to do the ethical hacking. So please do hack my system, and then they will try to identify the hacking. But Red Hat actually, they are again a freelancer. They are not part of any organization. Their intention to not save your system. Okay, the blue hacker actually try to save your system before launching the system. Red Hat hackers actually, after the system been launched, Suppose the black hat hacker actually trying to hack your system, the red hat hacker actually voluntarily try to hijack actually the black hat hackers. It is not actually sponsored user. They will voluntarily try to do. Probably the company might be paying after that, but they are not actually the paid or arranged activity or approved activity. This is again actually outside of their organization. They try to attack actually black hat hackers. They are good guys, but they are not actually appointed guys for that by the organization. Blue hat actually appointed or actually hired consultant. Okay, so that is the difference between.
There is a question from Subendu. He is asking that blue teaming and blue hat are same.
Blue team. I didn't get the question. Blue teaming means
like just now you just answer about the blue team and red team.
Okay.
So the red hat and blue team and red team are the same.
No, they're not same. That's what I told you. Blue team and red team is not same. Actually, they are actually blue team. As I told, actually, suppose I am running a company. My company name is A company. So I, after developing my application, I will invite actually blue team because my white team will do the hacking. Because suppose I am not actually okay with my white team, I will call actually outsider. Because white team is knowing each and every inside of about my application. But blue team is outside organization. I will appoint to hack my system. Okay, that is where actually blue team. Red team is not like that. Red team after actually the application out, the black team is hacking my system. The red team will directly jump and try to attack actually the black team. Okay, so they are not actually appointed guy from my company. Okay, their intention is not to save my system. Their intention is to attack actually black hat team. So that is actually their intention. Yes. After that, actually the company may actually do something for the red hat. That is actually not as a part of the process, but actually they are actually not appointed or approved guy to save my system. That is the difference.
Next question is from Elvis Shrestha, and the question is ethical hacking a great career?
Definitely is a great career. That's what I told actually. So see, right now I'm going to out my system because we completed my development. So we are going to launch our application on sometime in December. So we actually given my application to a pen test team. So I'm coordinating. I'm actually the coordinator for the pen test activity from my engineering team because I'm an application architect. I'm just need to initiated my pen test activity, but the pen test is completely done by my white hat team, which is actually part of my team only. But they won't actually do any, as I told, actually they won't do the code quality or business coverage is done or not. They will simply go and actually do all those checking which I listed here, whether SQL injection is cross-site scripting there, the direct browser access is allowed or not, whether actually authentication is violated, whether actually unauthorized users is allowed to access my system, whether actually random file access is allowed. So they will randomly, left and right, they will do my system by security aspect. Whether all the port is open, only the allowed port is open or not, remaining ports are blocked or not. Those kind of, testing they will do. Okay. So definitely the job opportunities are there. As I told, actually, they are a highly paid employee compared to the engineering developers. But the thing is, the ratio is very less. For 50 developers, we will have a 50% development team. We will have a 2 or 3 ethical hacking team or security professional, which we used to hire. So that is the ratio, but they are highly paid professionals. That's what I told.
Okay, sir. Next question is, what are the different network sniffing tools?
I listed actually some of the tools actually over there. If you want, I will respond in an email. Actually, okay. I don't have anything. I mean, list in the top of my head, but I will send you.
Okay. Okay. Sir, next question is, can you explain about burp suit?
I didn't get that actually.
The question is from Nasir, and he's asking, can you explain about burp suit? BURPSUIT.
Probably I need to explore. Actually, I will respond in an email, sir. Actually, for him, you just send me all the questions, sir. I will
Okay.
respond to him. Sir, I have a hard stop actually. I need to go for other meeting. Sorry for the inconvenience. We have any questions? Probably I need to stop because